So today the topic is the main topic after the transport administration kernel upgrade, kernel patch upgrade or kernel release upgrade. So whatever it may be, that is the same procedure. Kernels are the OS level binaries. Kernels are the OS level binaries here. It will store in the three places in the SAP system here. So one location is like a USR, so SAP, USR, SAP, SID. So USR, SAP, then SID, and the sys and EXE and EXE. Okay. So then one more location is called this is a global location. This is the local location here. USR, SAP, SID, D instance number EXE. And the second one is called the USR, SAP, then SID, then ASCS instance number and EXE. These are the three locations we have the kernel files are exist. So this is like a ASCS related kernel file here, message server and queue server instance related. This is a specific to application server related. So this is the global EXE. It is entire system-wide kernel files here, kernel files. So kernel will play the importance role between kernel will play the importance role between the your operating system and SAP application server here. As a operating system and SAP application server here. So it is a core component for any SAP system. It's a heart for SAP. How the heart for us humans? We have the this kernel is a heart for SAP application server here. It's a core component of core means it's a main component of any SAP system here. It consists of kernel consists of executable files that runs on the server to handle the connections to system, SAP system and SAP programs. And sometimes what happens, the bugs also will be fixed because of the kernel. Because of the kernel, sometimes the bugs also will fixed here, right? To perform, to perform the kernel, so during the installation time, we have updated the kernel, right? So we may have to update the kernels to the latest version to for smooth running the systems and everything, we have to update the kernels here, right? So kernels. So here, what are the steps we have to follow and how to check the current versions and everything here? The first of all, we have to check, the current kernel version. So we have to check the current kernel version. What is the current kernel version? Either you can check the disk plus work, or you can also check the in the SM51 and the release information. You can check the current kernel version here, right? Two places here, either SM51. So either you can log into the system. So you can go to the system here, right? So go to the system SM51. So go to the SM51 here. Here there is a release information. Just check the release information. Here we can check the what is the current kernel version and everything. We can check it out here. 753 1200. So 753 is the release version and 1200 is the patch level here. So like that we can check the kernel versions. We can check it out here. The OS level command also we can execute the same command here. So any SAP system it's same here, right? So if it is the Linux, we can also check in the same root user. You can log in the root user, not the root user with SID ADM user. You can switch, right? Just execute the disk plus work. It will show the current kernel version here. What is the current kernel version? 753, the 1300. 753 1300 is the current kernel version. We can check it out here, right? So that is the kernel version checking and everything here. Okay. So then after that, download the download the latest kernels. Kernels mean download the latest kernel patch or download the latest kernel patch level patch or kernel release from the higher version. Download the latest kernel patch from the me.sap.com or service.sap.com. You can download it. While downloading, so please please check the review the kernel release note to check the please review the kernel release note here. Why? Because kernel release note is very important to know whether it's compatibility of the operating systems and all those things here. Why? Because kernel version always compatibility of the operating system version and also its compatibility of the your SAP systems here. So why? Because it's a mediator between the SAP and operating system. So that compatibilities are there here. So it's not like that you have to update whatever is there in the latest, you have to update it. So you need to check you are going to higher release means whether your higher release is applicable to so this your operating system and this one or not. We need to check it out. That is the main thing here. Review the kernel release note here. Then download the latest kernels. Kernels means here that starts with the SAP EXE. Then this is the SAP EXE, then SAP EXE, then SAP EXEDB, so SAP EXEDB. So these kernel files we have to download. The one is the operating system in one is the DB dependent. Second one is the DB independent files we have to download from the service marketplace here. You have to download the service marketplace here, right? So review the kernel nodes, download it, then so move the kernel from so from download directory wherever you download a directory to app server level in which SAP application server level you have to move it here. SAP the app server level you have to move the kernels here. Once the application server level you move the kernels, then extract the kernels, extract it, then so take the downtime when you want to down the system, take the downtime of the SAP system. Then the seventh one, stop SAP system. The eighth one, so we have to stop the SAP system. Then copy the copy the replace the replace the new kernels which you downloaded from the service marketplace. Replace the new kernel files into the existing so global exe directory means this exe directory we have to replace it here. This is called the global exe directory, right? Replace it. Then once done, then execute. If it is a Linux, we have to execute the .sap root.sh script. We have to execute it. Then, so if it is a Linux system, we have to execute this command to set the permissions and the groups. The 10th one, start SAP system. Then 11th one, perform the health checks here. Perform the health checks. Perform the health checks here. This is one of the frequently asked question during the interview point of time here. During the interview point of time, this is one of the frequently asked question, right? So perform the health check, start SAP, root.sh, everything. We have to execute it here, right? This is the main thing here, right? So here so this is the one thing here, right? So this is the one thing here. So here what we have to do, we have to check the current kernel version that we have checked it here. Let's take here, in our case, we'll take the Linux here, this way. For this batch, we'll take the Linux one. So for Linux. So for Linux, how to do that one here. Previous all the batches we done the Windows, same procedure, we'll do the Linux here. The same procedure here for the Linux also nothing. Just only OS level commands are different here. So let's see here the Windows and Linux. So Windows, we know already, everybody knows same procedure, but Linux also, Linux only OS level, it's a different commands we have to use it. So this time for your batch, so we'll do it in the so Linux level, how to do that one here, right? So my previous videos, previous classes, everything is happened on the Windows level. So I will share that video also, similar procedure. The only thing is Linux level, I will show you how to do that one. If it is a Windows, just to copy, right click, copy and paste. Here it is command, we have to use it. So log into the service marketplace. So first check the version, it's a 1300. Then check if any SAP, if any SAP services are running or not. So nothing is there. So you stopped it before only. That is fine. So you no need to stop the database. Just only stop the SAP application server here. But that is after, later also we can stop it here. Now not required to stop it here. So now not required to stop. Later also we can stop it here. So later means, so we have the steps, right? So up to seventh step, so we can stop it. So but now we are in the, so downloading the kernels and all those things phases only. So now we're not required to stop. But anyhow, system is already in the stopped status. So that's fine here. System is in the already stopped status here. Let's go to the, so just scroll down. So download center here. So we need to stop SAP all commands. So it will stop the Linux. It's simple. Linux is very, very simple actually. So stop SAP, start SAP. It will start the SAP systems here, right? Stop SAP and start SAP. The Linux system will be the stopped status here, right? So we have the same profiles, commands, same file system, Windows level, same USR, SAP, SID. So same commands are the same command, same file systems, nothing changed. Only the base environment got changed here. Environments are changed here. Okay, that is the main thing here. Okay, so here go to the support packs and patches by alphabetical index. So K for kernel here, right? K for kernel. So we have to download the kernels here. SAP exe, SAP exe db. So we have to download it from the marketplace here. Marketplace here. Why it is very slow. Okay, ours is the 64-bit always Unicode version. Latest versions all are the Unicode. So we are in the 753, right? 753 release and patch level is the 1300 here. See the current version here. So we can also upgrade to the plus one step before either release or within the 753. So we may have the, so latest versions, I guess here 1300 we applied, right? So 1300 we applied here. This is the 1300 here, which was released on the starting of the year, like February. So, but after that, there are many changes, many bug fixes are happened. So let's see after the SAP EXE, are there any latest versions here? We have the 1400 as well here, right? So let's download the 1400, right? 1400 file, you can download it here. Then what about the here? So here one is the DB dependent, independent, means OS dependent. Second one is the database. Suppose like database is the HANA, then download the database related files here. So here the mainly two files we have to download it here. One is the DB dependent file. Second one is the DB dependent file, DB independent files we have to download it here. So if it is the Windows, you need to download the Windows operating system. If it is the Linux, Then Linux operating system related kernels, we have to download it here, right? So we have to download all the things, we have to download it here, right? So once it is downloaded, we have to move this to the application server level. So Windows directly copy paste, we can do it. Linux, we have to use the WinSCP commands. WinSCP commands, we can use it here for Linux, right? So here, so we can use the WinSCP command. What we can do here, I will create the kernel new, kernel underscore 1400. One folder I am creating here, kernel underscore 14. Then 14 to related files, just copy to paste it here. All right, it will copy. Meanwhile, I will show you the kernel. So note here, the kernel release note. So here they will clearly give you the whether this kernel version is applicable or not to your current version. They will give you, if you go to the here content info, you will get the some information here whether that kernel related, right? So yeah, it's moved to the here. Then what I will do at operating system level, let me increase the font. Window appearance font 18. Okay. Yes, it's good. So then you see here, there is a CD slash media under the media. So we have the SAP under the SAP. Under the SAP, we have the kernel here, right? This is the folder you copied here. These two files. So just to using the, I'm giving the permission to this folder here, right? So you copied here. See, there is a release note also, it's opening. Then meanwhile, what we can do, we can do the extraction here. We can do the extraction here, right? CD slash SAP, in this folder you have copied the kernels here. So CD kernel you have copied. So extraction. Why? Because so you have downloaded as a .sar file here. We need to do the extraction here. So in that case, SAP car hyphen XVF space, right? SAP car hyphen XVF, first SAP exedb, we have to do the extraction here. SAP DB, right? The next one is called the so SAP exedb. First SAP exedb, we have to extract it. Same files, we have to extract it, right? So you have extracted the files as well. You have extracted the files as well here. So here you see the operating systems here. So why I have mentioned to review the release note here. So release note will tell you the what is the kernel release, what is the patch number here. So what is the SAP versions, it will be applicable here. So this kernel we can apply in the 750, 751, 752, 769. The operating system is the Linux. And so what are the core patches? What are the bugs are fixed here? So what are the bugs are fixed? All the information is tracked under in this kernel version here. Everything is tracked here, right? Everything is tracked here, right? Everything is tracked here. So this kind of things they have. So that's why we have to review the note. Then we will come to know what are the issues they have fixed here and what are the new functionalities they have added. First of all, this will support, this kernel will support our operating system or not. It will give you the clear information. It will give you the clear information here. So that is the reason we need to review the release note here. Then after that, so copy, extract all the files you have extracted, right? Then what we can do, we can stop the just only SAP. You can stop it here. You don't need to stop the so entire database and everything. Just stop the only SAP here. SAP, you stop it here, right? So then after that, so copy the kernel files here. This is the global kernel path here. USR SAP SID or SAP MMT exe. This is the global kernel path here. right? So just to cd.exe, you will go to the kernel path here, right? Either cd usr sap equals to sap mmt. So then SAP MMT, EXE, CCXE, that is also same here, right? So then stop the SAP, replace the new kernel files into the existing global EXE directory here, right? Means SAP MMT, SID, EXE directory here, right? So where is your kernel files here? Slash media slash SAP slash kernel underscore slash kernel underscore. So slash kernel underscore 1400, I guess. Yeah, kernel underscore 1400. This is the folder here, right? In this folder, you have copied here. So what I'm doing here, cp copy command hyphen. So rf recursive for star space and the target location you need to copy. That's it. Okay. So target location. Then new kernel files are copied here. New kernel files are copied here. So new kernel files are copied here. Just check the this plus work to check the kernel. See, now it's a 1400, right? Previously 753, 1400. Now previously we have the 1300 kernel version here. Now it's in the 1400 version here. Then what you can do before you starting the SAP here, before starting the SAP here, we have to, so we have to execute the so SAP root.sh script here. This is the one of the thing in the, so execute the SAP root.sh script for the Linux systems here. So which means dot slash SAP root.sh space SID. So what it will do, it will prepare the ICM BND executable files. Then, so it will give the correctly give the permissions and everything. So it will correctly set the permissions to the ICM BND with the root user, then RWSR. So this is the permission it will send to the ICMBND. So what happens if you don't perform? Sometimes SAP it won't start. Sometimes your ports, SM, ICM, HTTPS ports, that will be inactive status only. Then once you've done it here, then what? Where is that? So once you've done that one, so you can start the SAP system here. You can start the SAP system here. So just to go to the here. So switch to the SID is the IM1. Not sure why you kept IM1, but that's fine. So just you start SAP all. So it will start the SAP system here. See, this starting the SAP system here. So either Windows or Linux, whatever it may be. So the procedure is same. This is Linux, right? So we have to use the some command, copy commands. Anyhow, DB topic time you will come to know the details of the commands and everything. So now see, it is starting the SAP system here, right? It is started. So now you can check the this plus work here, right? 1400. So kernel got upgraded here, little latest version, right? You can also log into the SAP. You can also log into the SAP here. Then you can perform the checks. You can also perform the you can also log into the SAP here. Then not sure what is the password. So, but you can perform the checks as well here. Here also you can perform the checks here. So that is the one thing about the Linux kernel upgrade in the Linux level. Okay, that is the main thing here, kernel upgrade activities. So simple procedure here. Only stop, replacing, and start only. But only thing is downloading is the important here. Correct files you have to download it here. If you don't download the correct files here, so we may face the issue. Sometimes people will go for the higher versions. Okay. Suppose like 777, if you take it out, 777, so 777 incompatibility levels it will show here. Suppose if you go to the SAP kernel content information, here your SAP version also should match here. So SAP version also should match to the, so what is the version you have in the SAP basis release 750. So you also should match this one here, should match this one here. So if you don't match it, then then SAP it won't start. So always we need to check, start the SAP, then check it out, then just perform the health checks after the kernel upgrade. If you are facing any dumps, any new dumps in the system, like health checks SM21. So check the, are there any system logs, critical system logs in the system or not. We can check this, check it here. We can check here. That is, nothing is there. So then are there any jobs are failing in the system? So we need to check all the health monitoring checks we have to perform in the systems, right? That health monitoring checks we have to perform in the system here to come to know. So this is the one release here. This is the one release here. That is the 1400. That is fine. Here we will come to know what is the SAP, your version. SAP table means SAP version here, right? So main kernel is the depends upon the SAP version and operating system version here. So these two are okay. We can upgrade the kernel. We can download and we can upgrade it here. If these two are not okay, then it's not possible to upgrade in the kernel and etc here. That is a very important. So you have the kernels. Then if it is display, I will show you. So why it is dependency. So here you see this is the kernel 777 release. So 600 patch level. Okay, but this is applicable for the your SAP version. So see 754 and 777 and 753, right? Only your basis version has this releases. You can apply it here. But our what about the our basis release here? Our basis release is here 750 only. So which means if you update this kernel to the this operating system, SAP it won't start. Why? Because this kernel is only applicable for the this operating systems only. That is the one of the important thing. Everybody, please take a note on this one here. Okay, that is the main thing here. Okay, so this is the kernel upgrade.